A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it is a period of raging hormones, questioning identities, and the epic highs and lows of starting a fight club. What starts as a means of two queer disasters trying to advance their social life evolves into a community of young women seeking strength and the last hope against a dreaded enemy looming in the shadows. Well, of course, what else do you expect to do in high school? Bottoms is rated R for explicit language, violence, and minor depictions of sexuality. Please proceed according to your needs and comfort. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views expressed therein are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of their employers. Hello there, and welcome back to 6 Degrees of Star Wars, the podcast where we explore all the ways George Lucas's flagship franchise surrounds us, binds us, and penetrates us in the landscape of cinema. I'm your host, Sam Marchioni. Joining me today, Jasmine Garcia.
Why the fuck was my high school experience not like this?
River Lane.
What's gayer? Lesbians or whatever the fuck Tim and Nick have going on?
And please welcome for the very first time, Émile Lewis.
So I was homeschooled through high school, only high school. I want to be clear, I was not homeschooled in general. So all of this was a foreign country to me.
Dear listeners, we are talking about the 2023 movie Bottoms, directed by Emma Seligman, and a Degree 5 featuring the following Star Wars crew members: Ting-Ying Liao, a lighting artist from Rebels; Sumire Takamatsu, an associate production manager for ILM on the Book of Boba Fett; and Jerry Gilbert, a supervising sound mixer on Star Wars Robot Chicken. Thank you for your contributions, guys. I don't think we're really going to talk about you for much of this episode, but God, Bottoms.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, Emile, because as someone who was in a regular public high school, I can assure you this is also a foreign land to me.
Okay. I assume that not... how many spoilers can we give out about the film?
All of the spoilers.
We are going to spoil all of it.
Okay,
baby.
cool, because I assume that most high schools, even particularly rowdy ones, do not have a death by sword happen on a regular basis.
No.
I mean, I never had a death by sword. However, I did go to a high school and a middle school that had frequent fights in the hallways of various degrees, and I believe in like 5th grade someone did try to bring a machete to school. So, you know.
Yeah, the action isn't accurate, but the feelings absolutely fucking are.
This is clearly a heightened reality.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
As explained in the 10 Things episode, the fact that all high schools do not come with a this is a body ground sort of vibe, truly a miracle of teenagers not having follow through.
Yeah, and it also kind of exists in like a weird time bubble where like the music ranges from the 80s to the 2000s, and like the cell phones are still flip phones, but people kind of like dress like it's the 2010s or 2020s.
Yeah, it takes place, I think, in approximately the same decade that Archer does.
Wow.
I will say the wardrobe is the 2020s by way of the fact that the 2020s never developed a distinctive style definition. It just sort of stole from everyone else's decades.
Yeah, it was kind of too busy dealing with the whole plague thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're only halfway done right now.
Good Christ.
But if I put a gun to your head and said, what's really big in fashion right now?
Temu?
That's a brand, not a fashion style, which is proof enough.
Terrible men's haircut. That's been in fashion since at least 2010.
I was gonna say, no, I could go back further than that.
Yeah.
At least the 50s and 60s, my gan.
Okay, yeah, men just look bad. For the listeners and new people, non-binary mask presenting, but also a flaming misandrist. So
Fair enough.
Fair.
Assume I use any gendered title with the parentheses gender neutral tagged on afterwards.
yes.
Oh shit, we have an all NBs episode. Woohoo!
Oh,
Oops, all
nice.
NBs.
Oops, all NBs.
I love it. Love that for me.
It's a new Cheerio brand.
Love that for us.
No, you know what it is? It's a Captain Crunch cereal that has the NB flag colors.
Incredible.
Yep.
Oh my god, I want to eat that so bad.
Right, so, fellas, is it gay to start a fight club because you accidentally bonked a football player with the front of your car very lightly.
That may be possibly one of the gayest things you could do.
I mean, again, what's gayer, that or whatever the fuck Tim and Nick have going on? Because Bestie, you can't convince me either. Those two are straight
Jeff,
either.
right?
Yeah, Jeff.
The actor is named Nick. Nick is the actor who, of course, this year was also in Red, White, and Royal Blue. So two very different flavors of gay movie here.
I was genuinely surprised that the movie did not have them kiss at the end. Like,
I was waiting for it too.
I really thought that they were building up to that. But also, I guess, I suppose, subverting the expectation is in and of itself a joke.
I mean, I feel like it would have subverted the expectations if they actually went and did it, We've been queer baited. We've all been queer baited before. We all saw Supernatural.
That's a very targeted jab at me specifically, first of all. Fuck you.
Man, I watched a handful of episodes of Supernatural ever, but also I had front row seats to watching the fandom implode on a regular basis. And sorry, I'm trying to do the chef's kiss thing, but it's hard to do in an audio medium.
But anyway, as for bottoms, I will say, obviously I knew this by reputation given the queer film nerds that I am friends with.
Ellie, you can say Ellie.
It's not just Ellie. Sam has been raving about it ever since it came out.
Well, yeah, I went to go see it and I freaking loved it.
Oh, am I the sole detractor on this one? Oh boy.
Yeah, I think you are.
Oh, you didn't love it?
I am at best indifferent to it. I respect that it exists, but it's just not for me. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's just missing, it's missing just like a hint of something, and you could put a gun to my head and try to ask me what that is, and I could not explain to you what it is.
Is it just not your style of humor?
Is it the liar reveal thing? Because I know you hate the liar reveal thing.
I do hate the liar reveal thing, and I did hate it in this. I think for me, this movie kind of became a quick study of for me it was okay, is this movie good or was it just the last 20 minutes? And I think for me, I've come down and it's not just the last 20 minutes. I think I got a giggle once or twice somewhere else, but the build-ups kind of felt lacking. I get why we did the fight training as a montage, but this movie is an hour 30 minutes. You could have slapped another 10 minutes just to give this bundle of friends a little bit more believability, so that when they're doing the hard breakup in the third act, I believed it a little bit more. And I get that we're supposed to be more focused on PJ and Josie's breakup, but
yeah, I'll just say it. Fuck you, PJ.
Fuck PJ.
PJ is the worst, but in fairness, I think you're supposed to hate her.
Yeah.
No, I get that we're supposed to hate her, but it also kind of seems like she gets away with being a piece of shit.
She's a teenager.
It's both she's a teenager and also she's not doing anything a male character hasn't done and we haven't forgiven.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But usually with those masculine characters, they're given at least one more degree of here is a semi-likable trait in here somewhere. Whereas they don't think they ever gave PJ that.
Which is fair. That is a fair point, because I can rock with an unlikable character, but there needs to be something there. But on the other hand, and I've said this on other podcasts, I really do feel like with most high school friend groups, it's mostly based on proximity. And once that proximity goes bye-bye, there's a very good chance Josie and PJ never speak again.
But the other thing is that with Josie and PJ is PJ sort of has the, oh god, who is the forgettable love interest for Hero in Much Ado problem? Claudio. PJ is this movie's Claudio, in that we may like or care about PJ because we like Josie. We like and care about Josie, and we want good things for her, and she seems to like PJ for the most part, so we tolerate PJ's presence.
I see.
Or maybe Hazel. God, I love Hazel. I love Hazel so much. I love Ruby Cruz.
Hazel is such a shimbo. I love her.
Where the fuck did she get all that C4? Sorry.
I am going to descend a little bit here and say I even though she is not sympathetic, I very much like PJ, but that's because I like complete disaster piece characters a lot. I see a lot of myself in these characters. So I love someone who is kind of a piece of shit, may occasionally stumble by accident into doing the right thing. Also, she's funny as hell. So,
yeah,
I very much like her character. If I met her in real life, I would hate her to death. But I think honestly, kind of almost a villain protagonist of sorts in the film. I think she's great.
I mean, the last time we saw Rachel Sennott on this podcast, it was Bodies, 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 and she was playing another piece of shit there. And so I will give her props. She is very, very good at playing pieces of shit.
But I think that's all she's played so far, and forgive me if I'm wrong.
She wasn't a piece of shit in Saturday Night, but she also didn't have a whole lot to do in Saturday Night.
But also in Saturday Night, everyone's a piece of shit. That's kind of the joke.
True, but she's actually arguably the least piece of shit.
We'll check back in with Ellie on what the fuck is up with Shiva Baby, because I don't want to try and read the summary for Shiva Baby on Wikipedia.
But you are right in that we care about Peachy because we care about Josie, and boy did I care about Josie. Like, I basically immediately imprinted on this girl. I'm just that too. But also, oh no, this is basically me. Oh no.
Yeah, this movie gets a lot of jokes out of the universality of the inability to talk to girls.
And that was the funniest batch of catastrophizing I had ever heard in my goddamn life.
Apparently, she improvised that. Like, the
I believe it.
about marrying the gay guy who becomes a pastor. She improvised all of that, and you can see them, like, trying not to break, and I love it.
Would you visit us?
My favorite thing from the first 5 minutes is Rachel Sennott saying, "We're not going to be sexy high schoolers forever," says the 20-year-old actor.
Yeah.
Iowa Debris is literally, like, a couple weeks older than I am.
Yep.
And I have gray hairs coming in at my temples.
Good lord.
Oh, Emile gets to be subjected to power word age at some point this podcast. That'll be fun.
Yeah, what?
So, fun fact. I was born in the year 2000.
I'm shriveling.
I am currently 24. So I am the closest to high school in this podcast.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I was born a couple of months before the Soviet Union stopped existing. So,
Hooray, I'm not the oldest one here for once.
Yeah.
And that's power word age.
So I'm of the general opinion that everyone younger than me is an abomination onto Nugan.
No, understandable. Have a nice day.
You guys are awesome, but I'm also terrified and slightly offended by anyone younger than me being in any capacity successful in life, because I don't have my shit together.
Yeah,
right.
Neither do I. Don't feel bad.
It's so annoying.
That's the problem with the youth of today, is that they're young.
Why don't your knees hurt when I'm bending?
Yeah. Also, tying into the theme of the podcast, that thing I just said, that joke was directly stolen from Knights of the Old Republic. So
nice.
Nice.
That's very. Yeah, this movie was, like, I even said in my review, this had better one day be said in the same breath as Mean Girls, because it is just as fucking absurd.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a little more absurd.
It's Mean Girls for lesbians, and I love that.
Exactly. And isn't that what we always wanted? Didn't we always want to take out the lesbophobia?
But I don't think it wants to be Mean Girls.
Well, no, but
it doesn't.
It has more in common with Heathers than Mean Girls, especially when you consider there's a JD XP running around.
There sure
thinking
is.
about blowing up the school and.
God.
God.
What is Mean Girls but Heathers without the murder?
Literally.
Okay, you know what? Good point.
It's also gotten comparisons to Superbad, apparently.
Yeah.
I've never seen Superbad, so I don't know if that's true.
Mainly because it's a teen sex comedy.
Yeah, it's a teen sex comedy where all the protagonists are nerds and kind of pieces of shit.
Yeah, okay, I saw Superbad, good lord, a long time ago. Yeah, it's not, I think it's mostly that it's in the same vague genre, but with a different different gender focus.
And about damn time, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, why are there not more weird sex comedies with women as protagonists?
Misogyny.
Yes, and that is why it is a crime that the short-lived TV series of Garfunkel and Oates only got one season.
Okay, but speaking of misogyny to a degree, can we talk about Marshawn Lynch for a second as Mr. G?
That was wild. What the fuck?
Funniest. God.
He was so fucking funny, but it's also really sweet to find out that apparently part of the reason he took this role was because when he was 16, his sister came out as a lesbian and he did not handle it well. So he talked to her beforehand and he kind of wanted to do like a cinematic righting of the wrongs.
Oh,
That's cool.
I suddenly like him so much more now.
Yeah.
I also deeply support football players getting the fuck out of football. So there's that.
Yeah.
He's also just very funny. Like, I saw Love Hurts, and Love Hurts is not necessarily a great movie.
But he is funny.
But it's funny, and he is funny in it.
I, no joke, tried to watch it on Saturday, but then it ended about halfway through, and I had to get home. So I will be finishing it up at some point just so I can have an informed opinion.
Yeah.
I just saw a video of him dancing with Kei Kwang on Instagram, and that gave my life a little bit of light for a fleeting 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Apparently he does a lot of improv, so he's really fucking funny.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I think...
Now I might have to see this. I wasn't particularly into seeing it as much as I would like to just go up to Kei Kwan and give him a giant pile of money.
Wouldn't we all?
He's so pure.
He's so sweet. But, like, another thing that this movie has in common with Love Hurts is that the fights are really fucking fun. I'm digging how many, like, really cool fights I've seen in movies lately.
There's
definitely
fights in
prefer the fights in this, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I get that. Part of it is I think the fights in this one are a lot less complicated because they're saving it for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like the editing is all over the place.
You put it like that, honestly, the pacing in this movie is very oddly similar to Hot Fuzz.
Huh.
Interesting. I still haven't seen it. I need to.
Oh, Hot Fuzz is great.
Hot Fuzz, my beloved.
Yeah, in that it's, funny, but like slow-paced kind of funny for most of the movie, and then like the last 20 minutes are just a paroxysm of goofy cartoon violence.
Let's talk that ending. Holy shit. I wasn't expecting a literal bloodbath. I really wasn't.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, they'll probably get into a fist fight, and then maybe there'll be like some kind of like moralistic talk at the end, despite the rest of this movie indicating that there probably wouldn't be. I just assume because the genre.
But no.
No,
People die.
Fucking
To paraphrase River's internet boss, it's murder. The solution is murder.
Yeah. No, seriously, there are so many dead bodies by the end, and I'm just, these girls are covered in blood, and I'm just like, get this cast into a horror movie now.
Oh my god, this cast would be so good in a horror.
I love that for some reason, the sword that the Viking uses is apparently a mock version of the sword that Aragorn uses.
Aragorn.
Aragorn, what the fuck ever.
Oh, what? I didn't even...
No, it's very important to make that distinction because Aragorn is a fantasy reskin of Star Wars.
Yeah.
With dragons.
Aragorn is a worse Luke Skywalker with a dragon.
Can we give actual Luke Skywalker a dragon? I think my life would be solved if we gave actual Luke Skywalker a dragon.
Like,
I'm sure there's a fanfic.
I know that's Ezra's whole thing, but, like, give Luke a dragon.
There's gotta be, like, maybe in, like, the 80s Marvel Star Wars comics, there's gotta have been at least one book or comic where
considering
Luke
there's a Darth Vader comic where the bitch fights a fucking giant shark with a lightsaber.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
God, Star Wars comics are wild.
God, they're so good, though. I've read relatively few comics from the newer canon, but I do have the entire run of Star Wars Legacy sitting proudly on my bookshelf right now.
Kieran Gillian's run of Darth Vader, my absolute beloved.
Oh, I've been wanting to read that for years. I just never got around to it.
Oh, this is crazy.
Kieran Gillian's run of Darth Vader is so fucking good.
Not to be confused with Karen Gillan. Please note the distinction.
And so is Charles Soleil's Poe Dameron comics.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. He murdered Padme's wardrobe. I will never forget.
Okay!
But everyone else in that comic is good! And it's the reason I get real fucking mad about The Last Jedi and or Rise of Skywalker. This rant has been redacted to save space.
Anyway, bottoms! It's funny you mentioned how you felt like there wasn't quite enough bonding for the group. It's like, I really vibed with this friend group. Even the Black Republican character, Annie. Even though, like, it's just
I lost it when they said that line.
Yep, even though you are a black Republican, you are still the smartest person here. It's just like, you know what, she's gonna go to college, she's gonna get radicalized, it's gonna be fine.
Someone is gonna eat her pussy out so good.
That too. Yeah, no, that girl is in the closet, I'm positive.
Were there any straight characters in this movie?
Yes.
Discuss.
Brittany.
Technically, yes.
Was she?
And Mr. G, I think.
Yeah, no, Mr. G, yeah.
Yeah, no, Mr. G can't sit with us.
He can.
He's an ally.
And if he's an ally, he'll know that he doesn't need to have a seat at the table.
I'll be honest with you, I got him mixed up with the principal for a hot second. No, the principal can't sit with us.
Oh god, fuck the principal.
God.
No, seriously, I was just like...
One scene wonder, though, that guy.
Oh, 100%. He was fantastic, but yeah.
The way this whole fucking school functions like a cult around Jeff...
It really does, and also, like, he's clearly so pathetic, it's just, like, and a part of me is just like, you cannot possibly genuinely think this guy's a badass, and then I look at the real world, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
As mentioned earlier, so I didn't attend a real high school, so most of what I know about high school is either from... secondhand from my sister's gossip, because she stayed in high school. We're twins, by the way.
Aww.
But, yeah, she adjusted way better when we moved back to the States. So she high schooled. I didn't. But, so stuff I learned from her, but also from TV, which I am increasingly learning is not accurate. What? People just tell lies on the television?
Yeah.
Riverdale has told me that all high schoolers are like 30.
The epic highs and lows of high school football.
That just reminds me.
So great.
This movie was missing something. It was missing like a full, proper musical number. Like,
for sure.
There are some banging needle drops in this.
Great.
Oh my god.
The total eclipse of the heart needle drop at the egging scene is crazy.
Incredible. Like, that gave me freaking ASMR. Of the soul.
It took me until the end of that musical number to wonder why, or like, I understood, like, intellectually that it was Total Eclipse of the Heart, but some part of me kind of wanted it to be, It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
That also would have been funny.
Which would have been funny. But I think that's because I just read Rob Harvilla's 60 Songs to Describe the 90s, and, like, literally his opening paragraph is put Celine in Super Smash Bros.
Yes.
Whoa. Okay, sorry, you just dropped a bunch of concepts on me in such rapid motion that I have whiplash.
Welcome to my brain.
I get it. Like, I have this effect on other people, but I'm I'm trying to parse all of this. I'm just going to be stuck on put Celine in Smash Bros for the remainder of possibly my life.
So we have the total eclipse needle drop. We have the complicated montage. We have the cheerleader sequence that has like the riff from Toxic as its baseline, but then I get that part of the joke is that the cheerleaders' routine is so freaking lackluster, but also, like, I wanted them to go full Bring It On.
That would have been fun.
So there are two scenes in this movie where there is straight up just a guy in a cage.
Yep.
There is the boxer scene.
Someone had a kink.
The obvious boxer scene where there's a guy in the cage. But in that opening classroom scene, if you look in the faded background, there is clearly some footballer in a cage.
Yeah, this school isn't unhinged, clearly. I mean, they let them swear at pep rallies, man.
Yeah, and over the loudspeaker at the football game. And they also just kind of, like, didn't really care about the corpses. Yeah,
because it's Huntington.
Yeah, one of you referred to it as a heightened reality earlier.
Yeah. No, this is a massively heightened reality.
Very much what this movie is, and I love that. I love that it does not even really have the pretense of being strict realism.
No.
It's real good.
And can I just say, thank God, I've never been happier for Dawson casting than when Havana Rose Liu came on the screen.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
She's so gorgeous.
Sapphics.
Yeah, and that is why we are here. We are here because of Sapphics.
February is continuing on, folks.
Yeah, duh.
Where does Ruby get the C4 from? Where does she get the C4 from?
Rich people.
Fucking rich people!
Or, I don't know. Maybe she stole it from the neo-Nazi JD guy.
Oh, Lord.
Let's not insult JD like that, please.
River, I once came across a quiz on Entertainment Weekly that was asking, can you tell which of these lines is Jason Dean from Heathers and which ones are Kylo Ren?
I mean, I could probably do that.
But I could see why people might get confused.
God, that's a really good game. I love a good game like that. Much like the, is this a Riverdale plot or from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? That's another good game.
Or like playing Two Truths and a Lie with Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
That's impossible.
I had a cursed thought about Once Upon a Time on the subway home when I knew that you two were going to be in the same recording, but I will tell it to you after recording.
There are literally no non-cursed thoughts about Once Upon a Time. I want to...
Oh,
they're right and they should say it.
This is a different level of cursed.
I am going to fucking murder you when this podcast episode is over, River.
At this point, I'm thinking we're going to be able to make a compilation of all the times we threaten each other on these podcasts. Anyway.
They will not find the body.
Okay, back to the subject. Kind regards the NSA.
I mean, the threats of murder are fitting with this here here movie.
Oh yeah, a lot of deaths for a football game.
Yeah.
I think the fake blood is like gratuitous in such a way that it loops back around to being sick as hell.
Yeah.
It is not quite the gender of being drenched in blood.
It's close though. It's close.
Gets close. I do love a cheerleader's uniform covered in blood.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Also, those are just good cheerleading uniforms.
Yeah.
And again, thank you, Dawson Casting, for not making us creeps for this.
Yes, thank God.
Like, there are good cheerleader uniform designs, and there are bad cheerleader uniform designs, and I think this was one of the good ones. Then again, cheerleading uniform design was sort of established for me definitively with Kim Possible, so jot that down.
You know, that's fair, yeah.
Having never actually watched Kim Possible, but also I was a teenage boy when that show was in its prime, so of course I was familiar with who the character was.
The thing about this movie is that there are a lot of, all good comedy should also tell background jokes.
Yes.
And there were a couple of points where I was more interested in watching what the fuck the background jokes were than I was, watching the conversation. Like, the scene where they're talking about, trying to find a club advisor, I was more watching what the fuck everyone was doing in the background.
Fair. I don't think you're supposed to ignore that. They clearly put that in there because they want you to pay attention to it.
100%.
Or, all of the dirty looks that Josie was getting during the complicated montage.
Emile, also something that does not happen in high school. People do not graffiti each other's lockers. In fact, in my experience, most people in high school don't even use their lockers. I was an outlier for using my locker.
Wow.
I don't know about that.
We used our lockers a lot in middle school, but by high school, you only got assigned them if you asked for them.
Oh,
and
wow.
There was no guarantee the locker you got assigned was going to be anywhere on your flight path from traveling from class to class. So my high school, me and a couple of other people I knew, I carried 2 different backpacks because we were on an AB schedule system.
I was in a Department of Defense run school for most of my youth up through, I guess, the end of 7th grade, because we lived abroad. And so for 7th grade, so this school had 300 students K through 12. They couldn't actually do the high school thing, but bless their hearts, they tried. So they did, they wanted to try to, have lockers for the 7th graders and things like that. And I just flat out didn't. I simply refused. I had a massive fuck off rolling backpack, and just carried that with me to every class, causing chaos and dismay as I wandered through the corridors all the time.
You guys are masochistic. That's what I think.
Well,
Lockers
yes.
were so useful.
Yes.
I think this high school in the movie is just
That one hallway.
that one
Basically.
hallway, that one classroom,
And the gym.
and the principal's office, and the cafeteria.
It's a good cafeteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, very economical high school.
Yeah, because, the classroom... Mr. G teaches history, but there's also, anatomy posters and stuff, and Bunsen burners.
And that one fucking cage in the corner.
Yeah. Again, unhinged.
He may well have to share that classroom with other subjects. But oh god, if he I was a history major in college. But yeah, god, I Like, I would have loved to have had a history teacher like him in my youth.
Who invented feminism?
Gloria Steinem.
A man, another woman.
Well, it depends on what wave of feminism you're talking about.
Exactly.
Second wave all over again.
Yes, exactly.
That might be my favorite line in the movie, by the way.
Oh, 100%. It's just like, and she's not wrong. She is not wrong.
So good.
My favorite line is, I actually love when people use violence for me. It's actually one of my love languages.
Is your second one gifts? I actually really loved Josie and Isabel. They were cute.
Yeah.
They really were.
Is it a little unhinged? Yes, but what realistic teenage romance isn't?
Also, what part of this movie isn't a little unhinged?
That too.
The line that took me out back and shot me too, is when she picks up the hoodie in Josie's bedroom, where she's like, I've always wanted one of these, but my mom claims it's bulgy and hides my figure. That also fucked.
It's clear that there was like some, gesturing towards disordered eating with
especially Brittany. God.
Oh God. Like, I'm not immune to this. Every so often I'll see like Rachel Zegler or someone, and the Italian in me like, why are you so skinny? Eat some pasta.
You're already ready to be a Nona, huh?
A little bit.
I kind of love that for you.
But also, it's just like, pasta is delicious.
Yep.
People should eat pasta.
For sure. I've got some tortellini waiting for me tomorrow.
Ooh.
I made about 8 tons of spaghetti the other night. I get it.
I will take your word for it.
But also, like, sometimes you see things that you missed the first time around. Like, I never noticed that Hazel's cotton candy was kind of bitten into a shape where it looked like a dick.
Oh my
God, I gotta look for that the next time I watch it now. But, my favorite line was also a Brittany line. It's just like, you don't even deserve dreams. Like, I hope it's just darkness and death when you go to sleep. Or something like that.
No, that's actually like a killer insult.
It is!
It's really
like,
good.
Whoa! And also she looks just like Rachel Bilson. It's actually a little uncanny.
Yeah, like, I don't think I've really seen Kaya Gerber in anything else, and, you can be, like, a little wary whenever models go into acting, because it's like, okay, can you act, or is this just a thing where they thought you looked pretty? But no, she can act.
And she's funny.
According to the IMDb, she was so excited about this, she made up her own material for the audition.
Oh my God.
I love that for her. So, I love that for her.
Nerds. A whole cast of nerds. It's beautiful.
She was also in Saturday Night, actually. But anyway, this was just an absolutely insane fucking movie. And we have not talked nearly enough about the homoerotic football player friendship.
Yeah, it's so
Tim
good.
and Jeff. What the fuck is going on with Tim and Jeff? What the fuck is going on with Tim? Hello? Baby boy, you gotta get to college and get somebody who will love you properly.
You do not need to simp this hard, buddy.
Shut up, nerd, I fucked your mom.
If this was the level that LeFou was doing in the Beauty and the Beast live action remake, then I'd buy the exclusively gay moment.
But yeah, God, I was actually almost worried that Isabel would fall back into the comp pet after the all is lost moment, I won't lie to you.
She was close.
She was so close. Because, I'm sorry, after this man has already fucked your sister and shows you the most pathetic looking bouquet I have ever seen in my goddamn life, and considering I just played a flower girl, I would know, that's enough to leap into his arms? Honey bun!
Well, he did the hair thing that she mentioned she liked. He did the shiny, shiny, shiny.
Also, one of the other funniest jokes is when Josie finally puts Jeff down, and he goes to, like, reach for her, and she's like, oh, no, thanks, no.
Yeah.
And is, like, trying to, like, back away out of it. I'm like, yeah, nope, that's good.
I wonder if this was also practice for him for doing The Idea of You. That's the movie where he fucks Anne Hathaway, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's true. He's doing well for himself, and now he's bulked up for He-Man, so that's good for him, I guess.
Wait,
God! I forgot that movie was happening.
Fair.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
As someone
dear.
who wasn't paying attention to any of those news announcements, is this a bit? Are you joking?
I
or
promise
are you...
I'm not doing a bit.
Nope.
I so wish this was a bit!
This is the point in my life where I start looking around to see if there's a camera and I'm being Truman showed.
That's fair, but no. But
that is an insane thing that you just said, and I want you to apologize for it, even if you're not responsible for the film.
Listen, the amount of plot lines, I would love to be Truman Show. I'd love to have this series be fucking canceled.
yeah, if we are in the Truman Show, it's time to end it.
We have jumped the shark, people. We jumped the shark.
Long since. We jumped the shark pretty much like a couple of seasons ago. Let's be real.
I think we jumped the shark.
We jumped the shark in 2012.
We jumped the shark when that jagoff fish came out of the water and was like, "What if I started having legs?" Fuck that guy.
No, get back into the water.
Get out. It's all your fault.
But also, if the fish got in the water, then we couldn't be here talking about this movie and the homoeroticism of men playing football.
Yeah, the epic highs and lows of high school football.
I mean, a violent bloodbath that is fought via a teenage lesbian fight club is not a Riverdale plotline.
Except for it to be a Riverdale plotline, there would need to be a lot more sound effects of their hair going swoosh, swoosh.
True.
Swoosh.
Yeah, like Riverdale has had at least one, possibly more than one Fight Club plot in it.
Of course they have.
Yeah, they have.
And has definitely had much of the lesbian, but to my knowledge, and I'm in either late season 5 or early season 6 right now.
Listen, they brought in witchcraft. They could absolutely have done this.
I'm so excited to see that.
God damn it, I'm gonna have to fucking do Riverdale at some point on this podcast.
God,
think
it's
you got
so... It's art. It's
only if
high
somebody
art.
makes you.
Yeah, we're all going to make you. We are going to...
No, I have to subject Sam to Dark Angel first.
Anyway.
Dark what?
Never mind, I'll tell you after recording. But yeah, no, I feel for me, like, Bottoms, like, I was, like, enjoying it in the minute, but, like, I was also kind of left with this sensation of, like, I wish there was, like, just a smidge more here, and I could not tell you what that smidge more was.
Do you think it would have functioned better as a TV series, maybe?
I think this needs a TV spinoff. I do think it needs a TV spinoff.
I think that's what it is that, like, there's not as much connective tissue. I think that's what it's missing, is there's a lot of, it goes from, like, beat to beat to beat. This feels like it was written like a play, where they wrote all of the major plot happening scenes, but they didn't write any of the connective tissue. So, like, every scene is forwarding the plot, and there is little downtime. Like, even the, like, therapy scene is still a plot scene, you know? And I don't necessarily need the therapy scene to be a plot scene.
I don't know. I feel like it flowed pretty nicely.
I kind of want to sit and listen to Io Debris pretend that she lived through the Hunger Games.
Yeah, seriously, what the fuck was that?
I thought it flowed pretty well, personally. Like, I think, the idea that this is I don't know, maybe I just go into things with the understanding that they are trying to fit whatever they're doing into their respective medium.
Yeah.
And I felt it worked within the idea of doing a movie under 2 hours. Like, it's hard to realistically convey literally anything in the average film running time. So you have to be strategic about what
It's so true.
And I think they cut a lot of the fat away by having Josie and PJ already be, like, partners in crime, like, best friends sort of things.
The two ugly, untalented gays.
God.
Incorrect.
I also think opening in media res might be my hiccup.
Oh.
Which it usually isn't. Because I don't mind it an in media res opening. But I feel like there's like a 10 minutes from the beginning kind of missing, or like they could have slit 10 minutes into the middle, and I think I would have been a little bit more fine.
Or like maybe if they had an opening where it's like, you see flashbacks of their lifelong friendship.
No, so you know what this teen movie needs? You know what this teen movie doesn't have, and maybe would be kind of funny and another way to tell a fucking joke? Get Io and Debris to do a voiceover. This movie feels like it's semi-missing a voiceover.
No. Listen, 9 times out of 10 when they do narration, it's because something got cut to ribbons in the editing.
Well, no, sometimes they're just randomly trying to sound profound even though they have nothing to say.
Looking at you, Vox Lux.
I was looking primarily at the show Heroes, which I just thought about. I was the first human being to think about the show Heroes in about 10 years.
No, that's not true. I always think about Heroes. Because I'm always thinking of Senhil Ramamurthy and Milo Ventimiglia.
Gesundheit.
But considering that, like, if we talk about Hot Fuzz earlier, doing that opening, like, narration about Nicholas Angel going into where we meet him, doing something like that, or maybe, like, those, like, shitty, like, I don't want to use Suicide Squad because that's a terrible comparison, but those shitty, like, graphics doodle cards they all get.
Maybe what you're actually thinking you want is Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey?
Oh, that was good, though. Birds of Prey was great.
Loved Birds of Prey. That's why I said 9 times out of 10. And also Emperor's New Groove did the narration really well.
Yeah.
But I also am indifferent to Birds of Prey at best, so that doesn't help me either.
Why are you so wrong?
Thank you!
I like Birds of Prey, but I never on purpose put it on.
That makes sense.
River, I think you just don't relate to most movies about women.
Maybe I don't relate to sapphic movies about women? Because I'm not a sapphic woman?
I think that might be part of the problem. I'm sorry.
I don't want to interrogate the gender box again, Chaz.
Get in the box, River.
Yeah. Back to the gender box with you.
I keep surrendering my gender to science, and they keep sending it back.
I honestly, relatable.
Is it because I'm asexual and I've never, like, started a fight club to bang chicks because I have no desire to bang chicks and or dudes?
Yeah,
that might do it,
I'm
actually.
asexual and I've never started a fight club. I don't have any impulse to bang thing. I crave romantic connection, and when I finally got to see one of my boyfriends in person in New York, and he spent basically the entire time of Gauntlet at the Garden hugging me, God, that was really nice.
That's adorable. I hate it.
I want to be romanced, damn it!
Well, there you go. Clearly this is not being about romancing, even though it kind of became that with Josie and Isabel. It's about being fucking horny in high school.
Yeah, I was never horny in high school.
They name-dropped a bunch of famously queer colleges, like Wesleyan and Emerson and Sarah Lawrence. A part of me was a little bit offended that my own alma mater, Oberlin, didn't get a shout-out.
The least Ohioan part of Ohio.
For me, I joked in the beginning I wanted this to be my high school experience. I really don't. I was.
Yeah, you don't want to kill people at that age.
I was too much of a goody two-shoes.
You don't want to kill people. You don't want people spray painting slurs on your locker.
No, I just wanted a girlfriend.
Mood.
I think I just wanted to be at a fight club. I think I just wanted to, like, be able to fight people. Do you understand how much high school me was made of rage?
Well, yeah, we all were.
Okay,
every
so I think
teenager.
you might have vibed with the one who really, really wanted to kill her stepdad.
I was gonna say, I was looking at that character and I'm like, that is not how I, like, because the only thing that wasn't that looking like that in high school for me was the fact that by the time I was in high school, my hair was very much in a pixie cut, because I cut it my winter of my freshman year of high school. But I looked at that character and I'm like, that's not how I dressed in high school. Okay.
That character. I'm bad at remembering the names of characters if it's not in, like, a written medium, so I don't remember her name.
The actress's name is Summer Joy Campbell, and her character's name is Sylvie.
Oh, okay. So Sylvie then.
She apparently blew out her vocal cords screaming, "Yes, Queen!"
I believe it.
So
I
good.
believe it.
That character was so fucking on point.
I will say for this show's wardrobe, fun fact, you can buy the t-shirt that Josie is wearing in the friendship breakup, the Atari t-shirt, from Target. I know this because I have that t-shirt.
Oh, God.
Mine is, like, off-colored, because I think I A, bought it as, like, a cream-colored shirt, and B, I've had it since freshman year of college. It is basically a laundry day shirt at this point.
That's great.
You know what another line I really liked in this movie was, "My identity's kind of attached to hers, so I just go wherever she goes."
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, sounds pretty gay, hun. Are you sure you're straight? Are
Yeah.
you sure?
This movie needed more neon.
Ooh, yeah, good point. We could have done with some bylighting.
I guess, but then it would have been almost too Lisa Frankenstein for a movie that's not about fucking monsters.
Okay, but
You can't be too Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah, Lisa
That is also
Frankenstein
true.
is a fucking masterpiece.
Oh, I agree. I love it. It's just that I don't know if it necessarily fits the tone of this movie.
You know where there could have been more neon? In the diner
diner?
that's called But I'm a Diner, because it's a tribute to But I'm a Cheerleader.
Oh my god.
Lol.
I didn't catch that.
I did
There
not
are so
either.
many Easter eggs in this movie. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, now I need to watch this movie again. So, disclosure, I literally watched this movie for the first time about 5 hours ago.
So did I.
I did what I always did in school, and that was crammed relatively late.
I know I was trying to avoid watching it was I started actually trying to clean my fucking kitchen, which I needed to do anyway because my kitchen was like 2 steps away from being a biohazard.
Christ.
But like when I started like trying to dedicatingly clean my kitchen, I was like, no, okay, I have to go sit down and actually watch this now.
That is one of the most neurodivergent things I have ever heard.
Can you tell I'm off my meds?
Oh my god, why didn't this movie have like some kind of period scene?
They did quip at one point when Josie was acting awkward. PJ does ask her, "Are you perioding?"
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but
I'm honestly kind of glad they didn't, because it feels like low-hanging fruit to me if you're gonna do kind of a raunchy-ish gross movie with some gross humor.
But we need to normalize bleeding out of an internal organ. Half the population does it.
That is also
they
true.
do need to normalize it, but also, like, I think you can make funny jokes with period stuff. Like, I still think the tampon joke from She's the Man is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use these for nosebleeds. But yeah, no, brain, work with me here. Yeah, I think there's not a period joke in Heathers.
Nope.
The closest you get is the green Heather Duke eating a bunch of wings in the gym or in the locker room. And that's more of a the bitches not having an eating disorder or in Heather Chandler induced eating disorder anymore. God, I love Heathers.
Yeah.
Let me talk about Heathers someday.
Heathers
I
is
love
great.
my dead gay son.
Okay, anyway,
I stopped taking notes about when they after the total eclipse of the heart scene with the C4, because like I was like letting it roll over me.
Iconic, honestly. I'm sorry, I'm still obsessed with that scene. I can't believe I forgot it.
there's just a lot going on in this movie.
It has been over a year since I saw this in theaters, so that absolutely is part of it.
It's definitely one of the films of all time. There's a lot of movie in this movie.
If only for giving us the bloopers during the credits back.
That was nice.
That was lovely.
Oh god, that was so nice. You know who we also haven't talked about yet? Punky Johnson as Gay Yoda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of Star Wars.
I love Punky Johnson. I was so mad when SNL cut her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she holds any ill will to them or anything, but, like, she was fucking funny, and I wish she got to do more. Big Boys is unironically a bop, and I will jam out to it every day forever.
Correct.
Is that the SZA song that got real big on TikTok?
Yes, that one.
And it's true.
But yeah, no, she was quite funny and her true one-scene wonder there. And, again, it's where we find out, no, the Huntington football players are actively psychopaths, apparently.
Yeah, so out of curiosity, I unless I missed it at some point, I assume that this is just a generic Huntington somewhere in the country and not specifically Huntington, West Virginia.
No, it's supposed to be Indiana.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm sure there's like 1,000 Huntingtons, just like probably slightly fewer of them than there are Springfields. I just mostly know of Huntington, West Virginia because I used to live in Virginia, and also I am an avid McElroy appreciator. So I just kind of assume.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I got this, but for some reason I was getting Wisconsin vibes.
It's supposed to be like nebulous
Middle
Midwest.
America. Yeah. It's pure Middle America.
Every town, USA.
Which is most high school movies.
Yeah.
Murdering somebody via pineapple juice in field sprinklers?
Yeah, that's
deranged.
Pretty fucking weird.
That's like a fucking Sherlock Holmes bullshit.
No, what it is it's a Midsummer Murders bullshit. Because there are no guns in England, so it's like, how did this mysterious man died? It's like he got bludgeoned to death by a crate of armadillos being sent to a research laboratory.
Hey, that happened to my buddy Eric.
Are pineapple allergy is just more common than I understood, because I also remember them being a plot point in Glass Onion.
Pineapple allergies are actually pretty common, and as a Dominican American, that's a travesty to me.
I love pineapple so much.
Callie's allergic to pineapple, I'm pretty sure, or at the very least is very sensitive to how it basically eats you when you're eating it.
I had a friend in high school who was allergic to pineapple, alcohol, and ham, and I said, so a Hawaiian luau would kill you, and he's like, yeah, pretty much.
Yep, no Hawaii for you, no luau for you.
I will take this moment to say pineapple is delicious. If you put pineapple on pizza, you are a heretic, and I will hunt you down.
Pineapple does fuck, but unfortunately, my father and I have developed a very stringent pineapple opinions.
So put tahini on it instead.
Okay.
Point is, I can't believe that the cafeteria scene ended up being a Chekhov's gun. Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, it has stuff missing in it, but the stuff that's in it, it's a pretty tight script, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a very efficient script.
Mm-hmm. And I really like the progression that they do with the makeup. I like how, to me, the makeup looks really believable for the level of beat up that the girls are throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And I like that their costumes also kind of evolve, like, you see them being less frilly and easily used as weapons. Like, I'm trying to word it in a way that doesn't make it sound like I'm shaming them for showing off their bodies, but their outfits get more practical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. However, I did want to watch Ruby Cruz beat the shit out of that boxer dude.
That's super valid.
God, I really did. Like, I remember a bit from the press tour where they were asked who the best fighter was, and everybody was immediately like, Ruby, and that is correct, because Ruby did a ton of, like, stunt training for Willow.
Yeah, God.
Oh, Missing Willow O'Clock, people.
Yep. They should let her be the one to kill a guy with a sword.
And I think the other thing is that, like, one of the things that fight scene gets really correct is that women do tend to be very kicky.
Yes.
Like, we're never gonna beat the upper body strength, but we are gonna be able to kick you in the face really fucking hard.
Thick thighs save lives. In this case, literally.
I, too, would like to kick a man in the face. I have several men I'd like to kick in the face.
Yes.
And I say for legal reasons this is a joke.
And also just the slow-mo is so fun. Like, we can give Zack Snyder shit for his love of slow-mo all we want, but when it's used well, it's so fucking cool.
Part of how you know it's used well is if Zack Snyder's not the one doing it.
I was gonna say, I literally said, Zack Snyder, eat your heart out in my notes.
He's just not good at things.
I think they could have actually punched it up a little bit. I think they could have gone one step beyond with it.
How so?
Like, when they first do that initial ramp of, they do the Zack Snyder, like, slow-mo ramp where it's, like, slow, and then when the fist makes contact, speeds back up again for Rachel's first punch. I think they could have done that with, like, a couple of others, but instead they chose to use it solely on Josie trying to get Jeff off the field, as it were, which, by the way, that is the second most unbelievable thing about this movie, is that fucking Josie can haul Jeff, fireman carry him across a football field while running.
I mean, I just thought it was fun to watch.
It was just so ridiculous.
It is a very fun visual, but it's like, that has to be a dummy.
Well, duh.
Oh, yeah, no, it's obviously a dummy, but I think it's supposed to be obvious that it's a dummy.
Yeah.
Because you know that Jeff would be, like, hamming it up the entire time, but we can't do that to Iowa Debris, so...
Yeah, no, God.
I mean, it also reminds me of, in Revenge of the Sith, that moment when Obi-Wan passes out in that first battle where they're escaping. They nicknamed the dummy that Hayden Christensen carried around Foamy-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my God.
The movie industry is full of nerds, and it should always remain that way.
Yes. As long as they don't make more movies about making movies. I'm putting my foot down on that.
I like movies about making.
I'm sorry. That's my least favorite genre of movie.
We literally just covered one.
Oh, well, I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, we covered The Watermelon Woman, which is really, really good, but it's not just a movie about making a movie. That's the thing. The movie about making a movie also has to be about something else.
Oh, 100%. Let me be clear. I understand.
Like, nobody watches the Muppet movie to see the Muppet movie getting made. That's why they just put it...
That's just the finale. The last...
Right.
The Muppet movie's fucked.
Muppet movie, my beloved.
I mean, I'll like pretty much everything Muppet.
Honestly, like, oh god, all of these girls honestly have some Miss Piggy energy, which is part of why I love this movie.
Oh
like,
my god, you're right.
Bottoms, Muppets crossover, let's go.
A movie full of Miss Piggies.
Yes.
But Miss Piggy would try to kill all of them.
Yeah, Miss Piggy's greatest enemy is Miss Piggy. But also only Miss Piggy could kill Miss Piggy.
I would argue that Josie has a bit of Scooter in her.
Yeah, that's fair.
Possibly even a bit of Skeeter, but I don't know if we're counting Muppet Babies as canon here.
And Hazel has some crazy Harry.
Hazel absolutely has some crazy Harry.
God, I love Hazel.
Hazel is, extremely crazy.
I'm a little concerned for her, but I do love
Hazel
her.
Callahan, I love you and I want nothing but good things for you.
Sylvia's Animal.
Yes.
Annie is Sam.
Yes. They don't. There's no Kermit in this.
Mr. G is Mr. G Swedish Chef or Zoot?
Fozzie.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
I can't believe we're casting this as a Muppet movie. What the
You opened the box, and now I'm thinking about it.
No, I wanted them to meet the Muppets.
Any film, any
Muppets.
movie must be cast as a Muppet movie. It's the law. Also, I want to point out that the meme is wrong. Is that the average Muppet movie does not have a token human.
Mr. G is the token human.
They have multiple.
Oh,
there are
absolutely,
multiple
Mr.
humans.
G is
Emile?
a human in a Muppet movie.
Emile, there is no way you could have known this, but River was literally just on an episode of our friend Ellie's podcast where she pointed out the exact same thing.
River, we need to be best friends now.
I am technically both. If I had a nickel for every single time a person has interacted with me on a recording and then realized that we need to be besties, I'd have like 3 nickels.
Yeah. So okay, cool. Well, I'll fight the other 2.
Oh God, oh God, with the energy I'm getting from you, Emile, you and Charlie would be interesting.
That's the next. I need to get an episode where it's me, Emile, Charlie, and Addie on a pod.
Yeah.
Oh God, that would be unhinged.
I guess you gotta get them on yours, River.
Truly.
Yeah.
Hey, Emile, do you want to talk about rom-coms?
Yes, actually.
Is this a rom-com?
No, it's queer.
It's a queer rom-com, which means it doesn't qualify for the
my
straights
pod, yeah.
aren't all right.
Yeah, it doesn't qualify for my pod.
There's plenty of queer rom-coms out there.
Well, no, for sure. But the whole point is that River is the whole idea is like, are the straights like okay?
They're not.
Almost never.
The straights in this movie definitely aren't okay. Like, Brittany, baby, nobody talks about wrists that much and is straight. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Brittany's an egg of some sort, but she doesn't know what kind.
I love her hair. Her hairstyling is great. I love I love the long hair and space buns. That's cute.
I wish I had that hair.
Oh God, it's so hard to get your hair back to being long after, like, it's been short for a while.
But yeah, no, I love the hairstyles in this movie. I love Rachel Snott's half up, half down thing. I love Brittany's space buns and long hair.
I love Isabel's little, like, braided back thing. It's very low-key fantasy Ren Fair, which is absolutely my shit. Like, that was my default hairstyle the last time I went to Disney World, except I didn't do braids, I just did, like, little ponytails.
It's a very powerful vibe.
It's a look that makes you feel like a princess. I'm a pretty princess.
That's basically like the reason why I do basically any of my clothes except for when I'm trying to be a look vaguely mask, which is to say when I'm at work or to a first date.
Meanwhile, if I can figure out a way to wear a skirt in a mask way, I would do it, but I can't, so here we are. If I can wear a skirt the way that Damiano David or Oscar Isaac or Paul Mescal wear a skirt, I would be happy, unfortunately. Listen, either those people need to stop being gender icons or I need to go look back the gender box!
I get it.
You do not have to go back to the gender box just because there are certain aspects that you do not vibe with. That's the whole point, River.
Except every style icon I've ever thought about has either been a non-binary mask or a straight up like cis dude with light to moderate femish energy, and then occasional exceptions made for, I think I just want Jensen Ackles' workout routine, but that's neither here nor there.
And we're back to Supernatural.
Have you considered Ruby Cruz's workout routine?
Possibly.
I don't know, I feel like Hazel's vibe is a very you vibe.
I need muscle tanks to become fashionable enough that they are starting to be sold places, because I don't have enough t-shirts that I can murder to make them myself.
I can't believe this movie gave you a gender crisis.
Every movie, to some extent, gives me a gender crisis, Jazz. Joke's on you! I'm always insecure in my non-binary identity.
There's your secret, Cap.
Yeah, exactly. Also mood.
I'll ask the question, is the Force with it?
Abso-fucking-lute. Thumbs up. Absolutely.
This is definite. This force is so very much with it. I don't think I will always have the energy for this level of absurd, but that does not mean that it doesn't rock super hard.
Legally speaking, yes, but with an asterisk. Yes, with a footnote.
Okay, Terry Pratchett.
Fair enough. I'm gonna say yes, so, call us all Sith dealing in absolutes. Force is fucking with it.
Does being Sith mean I can beat up and murder his football player?
Yes.
Awesome!
It has technically passed, but, plug it in for Galentine's Day.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
You know what? Leslie Knope, I think, would love this movie.
Leslie Knope would want to mentor all of these girls.
Yeah.
April would fucking love it.
Now that's a crossover I need to see as well.
Someone will die.
Oh,
Fun!
End of murder. April's perfect football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, it is.
Okay, who has pluggables?
I want to plug a thing, but it's still being edited, and I don't know when it's ever going to be released.
Okay, we'll ask you back.
Okay.
I am the host of In Each Retelling, the podcast where we explore all the ways old tales are made new. And we have been on a semi-hiatus for the first part of the year, but March Madness is underway. We have a lot coming up. We've got a Princess and the Frog episode. We've got a Snow White episode. We will finally finish the Hades Town saga. So please find us wherever pods are cast and find me at Faye Riviera on all the socials.
I am the host of The Straights Aren't Alright, a podcast where I gather a bunch of queers together, make them watch straight rom-coms, and try to answer the question, are the straights, like, okay? You can find us wherever pods are cast and on BlueSky at aren'talrightpodcom. You can find me on BlueSky at Dreams Rebel. You can also find me on Twitter, technically there too.
Boo.
I haven't deleted it yet. I tell the NHL to move to BlueSky. And you can find me on my own website at blog.filmlion.online, where I am doing the Great MCU rewatch, and I need to fucking do Iron Man 2. I just haven't done it yet.
And in the spirit of Star Wars, to be there for the people who need us, this episode's mutual fund spotlight goes to Kevin Ortega's fundraiser to provide self-defense classes for queer and trans people in New York City. 2024 was on record as the deadliest year for queer people, and Kevin wants to help our community fight back. The GoFundMe link can be found in the description for this podcast, as well as on my various socials under my new handle, Demisem. Our theme music is provided by Refractory Period, the two girls, one beat synth pop sensation. You can follow them on Instagram at Refractory Period, the band. To further support this podcast, please subscribe to us on your platform of choice, leave reviews, and share with your friends to boost our visibility, and consider joining our Patreon. And now, it's time to turn to the Chance Cube to decide where our journey takes us next.
That is a 6.
It's a 6. God damn it, Ellie is still fucking influencing us!
So what is it?
Doing?
For our March 15th episode, we are doing Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
You have clearly been blessed by the lesbian goddesses.
Sacre bleu, Madame Sappho, pourquoi, je ne comprends pas.
She saw that the rest of the world was going to shit and decided to give you a bunch of fictional lesbians also going to shit.
We will see you all to discuss Portrait of a Lady on Fire in the near future. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, stay beautiful, and may the Force be with you.